Hello and welcome everybody to another YouTube video from everybody's favourite account. That's the way the cookie crumbles, and we are back today to talk everything about England, everything about us being in the semi-finals of the European Championships. Jim, back-to-back semis for Southgate's boys at major tournaments. Is it coming home?
Of course it's coming home, and like in the last podcast we said we'd rather be back here depressed because Ukraine have beat us, or we're back happy and we're all smiles.
All smiles, and especially on YouTube, you can actually see us smile instead of our Spotify audio version. But we've got much to discuss today. A little video just to check in with you. So we said we'd throw them in here and there, just where it was appropriate. But of course it's appropriate, Jim. We're in a European Championship semi-final against Denmark, and I'm excited.
But yeah, very excited. I mean, very nervous already, and it's only Monday. Games obviously in 2 days. But yeah, can't go wrong with that performance on Saturday night. England were amazing. The best performance I've ever seen from my national side, and I'm sure even generations above me will agree.
Yeah, I mean, it was an absolute cornerstone for us in terms of, there was a lot of people saying that Ukraine would set up in a low block, and they did up until a point, and then I feel like the game switched on, you could maybe say the half-time mark probably, because it was a point where I think it was 2-0 England at half-time.
We scored just after half time.
Yeah, 1-0, And Ukraine basically had to go for it. As soon as that second one came in, the floodgates open for Ukraine. Inevitably, they're going to have to chuck more men forward to try and get it, because obviously that's knockout football. But
yeah, we're not going to enjoy, as England fans, we're not going to enjoy England in international tournaments and the way they played. But the game was wrapped up with half an hour to go. I mean, when can you ever say that about England in a knockout game? And certainly enjoying himself was Mr. Harold Kane Cook.
Yeah.
Because Mourinho did say on talk, but they might catch Sterling in this one. And I did think that in the back of my mind. Yeah, he could do, because Ukraine, they've leaked a few goals already, and off the mark in 3 minutes, and then a header, not even an out of form player could miss. It was just brilliant, wasn't it?
yeah, I mean, it's where you want Harry Kane to be at this moment in time. Obviously, people said he looked knackered, this, that, and the other. I don't think you can hide the fact that he did look tired in the first two games, and the fact that Calvert-Lewin came on and give him a rest for 20 odd minutes, half an hour, is, like Jim said, it's uncharted waters for us. We've rotated heavily, obviously, throughout this tournament with different systems and different personnel, but this one made a lot of sense. Got all the people on yellow cards off, and that was just good man management from Southgate. And I think Kane, he'll win the Golden Boot. I'm going to say it. He's going to score 2 on Wednesday, and he's going to score 1 in the final to nick it.
Wow.
That's my prediction.
World Cup Golden Boot.
We've not had a penny yet. And we all know that we love pennies. And we've got a few divers. I'm not afraid to say it. None that play for Chelsea, obviously. but we've got a few divers, and I think, obviously, Harry Kane's our penny taker. I think he's still all right.
Do you know what? I think he'll be eyeing up if he does that. I think he'll be eyeing up that Ballon d'Or. After the season, he's had most assists, most goals in the Premier League.
Got chips on the Player of the Year, didn't he?
Well, yeah. I mean, especially for bettors like me. But I think what's amazing about Harry Kane is that, he started off something really sluggishly, and even the staunchest Harry Kane fan will agree. And there was a time in the Germany match when he went down injured. Well, injured, because obviously he wasn't properly injured. He must have had like a nagging one. And even me, I was saying, this might be a blessing in disguise if he comes off here, because he looks knackered. And then he gets that goal to wrap up the Germany match, and then he gets 2 against Ukraine. And I think for me, what showed his confidence has just gone up in the space of less than 90 minutes overall. Was that left-footed volley he made just for the hat-trick? That's a confident Kane, isn't it?
I thought, to be honest with you, as soon as it left his boot, I thought that's in. And I thought it went wide. It was a great save.
It was a great save.
Just because he hit it so fast and so hard. And friend of the pod, Kyle, did actually say in the group chat that is a confident Kane. And I couldn't agree more with him. That is a confident Harry Kane. And if I was Denmark, my asshole would be tightening, because he's come into form at the wrong time for them.
Yeah, what a time though for England's main man to get into form now, because I think Sterling has carried the goal scoring burden on his back, and I think for me, a player of the tournament for England. But now Harry Kane, and now you've got to get your main men into the most important games of our lifetime.
100%. I mean, the good thing about Kane, one of the last things on Kane, is he's finally got the service. And that's what a lot of people were clamouring for. Yeah, he did look knackered, and you can't hide that fact. But Grealish has played 113 minutes worth of football and got 2 assists, and it's just finally someone's putting him on a plate for your number 9. And creatively, that's my main problem that I've been with England. All right, you can play a Bukayo Saka who's going to work hard and bring you other qualities and be better in different ways, but if you want match winners, you have to play a Sancho, you have to play a Grealish for me, definitely.
Yeah. And even Sterling and Kane's relationship, I think a lot of people are a bit critical of it at the last World Cup, but Sterling assisted Kane for the first goal on Saturday night, and I think it was 6 assists he's made to Kane, which is the most in European Championships, one player to another for England in its history. I mean, that you can't really get better than that. I mean, that's a great strike force. Sterling's on 3, Kane's on 3, going into 2 important games. And Cook, Denmark, it's going to be no easy task. There are no pushovers. Got a lot of technical players, a lot of Premier League players that are going to be big in the tackle. You like to be Højbjerg, Delaney is the same kind of player, and you've got a good defence. Simon Kjær and Christiansen and Vestergaard. Dolberg, but on paper, England should win, and if they don't, it's going to be a tough question, but would it be a failure? Would the tournament be a failure if they don't win on Wednesday night?
It might be a tough question if you ask Gareth, but if you ask me, yeah, it is a failure. We've been given a piss-easy side of the draw, Germany aside. You would expect England, put it this way, if it was European Championship qualifier and you said, right, England after 2 games to qualify, Ukraine and Denmark, you'd fancy England all day, every day in that. But obviously it's not qualifying, it's the European Championships. Denmark obviously deserve to be there because they're in the last 4.
Oh, definitely.
But for this crop of players, with this run, and we're a Denmark away from reaching a final and then playing Italy or Spain, yeah, it would be a failure in my opinion. But what do you reckon?
Yeah, honestly, I don't really know. It's a harsh one because you'd definitely be looking back thinking, if you was watching Denmark in the final, for example, on Sunday night.
What if they win it? What if Denmark win it?
No, it'd still be different. I think it'd be worse.
Yeah, that's what I mean. What if they beat Italy on pens or whatever?
Yeah, I think that'd be worse because then you're thinking, how many times do we get it? It's the first time since '66 we won a knockout game against Germany. All this first time we won a knockout. First time we won the first opening game.
It'd be typical.
Obviously, I don't want to put too much pressure on him. But
I do. Pressure makes diamonds. Pressure makes diamonds. Bring it home.
Yeah, but you know what? I think they're confident. I think they've got a bit of a swagger about them, the England side, whereas they're not arrogant, but they are definitely confident in their ability.
Yeah, I think it's the press. I think it's the press that are overhyping how arrogant we are.
Oh yeah.
And the fans.
And I think they have been in the past. I think England teams in the past think they
100%.
can just go out and win it because they've got world-class players on the pitch, but it wasn't the right system. You're looking at an England team now which is happy to leave out world-class players because of the system, which is exactly what a good manager should be doing.
Yeah, definitely. He's not letting the players pick the system. He has an idea, he has a philosophy, he's sticking to it. And I like his tactical flexibility going from like a 4 to a 5 for specific games. And it just shows that we're unpredictable. We're not 4-4-2 like we were in the past, playing Scholes on left mid. We're not trying to just shoehorn everyone in there. We're actually got a philosophy, and like what Southgate said in his interview, it's what's good for the group at this point. And for example, Ben Chilwell, Ben White, players like that who haven't even kicked a ball at this tournament.
Yeah.
He's just emphasised that the 23 that can get in the squad, it's for the best of the group. And I feel like all the players, like you said, there's a good vibe at the moment. There's no hate. I don't see any hate anyway.
No, I think
the camaraderie looks like it's there, obviously in the pool, volleyball, all that sort of shit.
Yeah, definitely.
But
they're happy.
There's no egos.
No, they're happy to be part of the squad, I think, too. And I know you mentioned some players that have not had an appearance, but there's no saying they might not been called upon. You've seen Spinazzola for Italy, one of the players of the tournaments, and he's ruptured his Achilles tendon, and now Emerson's going to have to step in. Like, what if that happened to Shaw? Chilwell's got to be ready if something that happened steps in. Sancho would only kick the ball for like 10 minutes before starting Ukraine, and he was one of the pivotal players in the press because he was fresh. We had Mount, we hadn't played for 10 days, he had the tricky isolation, which was obviously bollocks, we talked about that, but he came back and pressed hard. It's a squad game, and England have got, I would say, the strongest squad left in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, we can't afford to have a France-Switzerland situation where we're going in thinking we're in a semi-final. France, we would be thinking we're going into a final. People looking forward to Sunday. Like Jim said, there's a real opposition in front of us here. They're in a semi-final. They deserve to be here, regardless of the ranking or stature, or they're even without, you could arguably say, the best player in Christian Eriksen. But they use that as motivation, evidently, to get where they are. And like I said, we can't be thinking who are we playing on Sunday? We need to
definitely.
fully focus on this, settle on what we're going to do, and then do it. But talking about settling on what we're going to do, what formation do you reckon we'll go? Because obviously they play 3 at the back, as did Ukraine.
Yeah, they've switched to a 3 since Eriksen has been out of the tournament, and it's, I'm not going to say it's a blessing obviously, but it's they look more of a balanced team, and they've been really attacking for what people predicted Denmark might be. And the last time I played a 3 was obviously Germany, and we matched him, and he worked wonders. I was very hesitant about that before kick-off, but then straight away you could see the benefits defensively, definitely. And I think it will be tight. It's not going to be like Ukraine. I think a lot of people, casuals, would be expecting, oh, they're going to buy Ukraine. Oh, Denmark now, we're going to go. No, they got some really good players. I think the one to watch out for is Atlanta's Merle on the left. He did the assist of the tournament against Czech Republic with that outside of his boot cross. And I think, in answer to your question, what formation I would play, I would be tempted to match him up and say, listen, we've got the better players here, match them up 3-4-3, and just hope that, well, not hope, obviously there's tactics involved, but say that, listen, we've got the better players position for position, and we'll win that battle. And I would be confident in England to do that. But I would start the team that beat Ukraine 4-0. And we're going to go into our teams. Maybe I'd make 1 or 2 changes, but certainly I'd start 4-2-3-1. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a firm believer of you worry about yourself and not the opposition. I know, obviously, every system has an Achilles heel, F, Spinazzola, but this...
Too soon.
Well, fucking, he's Italian. But yeah, I'm a big guy on you worry about yourself, you'll play your way, and if you play your way, you'll beat them.
Yeah.
Because you rate how good you are. But I could see why you would. I would put it this way: I wouldn't be fuming if you went 5 at the back or 3 at the back.
I also think even though it's the 3 back and it's similar laid out on the pitch as Germany, the Denmark formation I'm talking about, he doesn't play the same. We was worried a lot about Gosens on the left and the way he arrives in the box quite late, and he had a goal already against Portugal in that 4-1, and he looked good there. But Merle's a different kind of player. He's more of a player who's going to get it from deep and run at him and do a cross. So you don't have to worry about that long ball over, and especially in midfield too. Højbjerg has made, I think it was the second most big chances, open play big chances. He equalled De Bruyne, only Jordi Alba had more. So he's a player who you need to be tight on. And in a 4-2-3-1, I would have the 4-2-3-1 and just have Mount sticking on him, because, I mean, what a player to do that. I mean, that's his bread and butter, that, because he can punish him too in the turnovers when Højbjerg does make the mistakes.
100%. Yeah, 100%. That's Mount. For anyone who's either not a fan or just simply doesn't know, Mount is, in my opinion, probably the best pressing attacking midfielder in the league with Lingard. Both got a lot of legs, both run, and especially when off the ball. And these like to play football. They've got ball playing centre backs in Christiansen, and they'll try and keep it. I think people think that they're shit, and that's just not the case. And these will try and play football against England. They do try and get hold of the ball, and I think that you've just said perfect person to sit on one of the defensive midfielders in this 3 at the back is Mount, because he'll never give you a minute. He's got an engine. He's played 60 odd games this year.
Yeah.
And that week's rest has probably done him the world of good.
Yeah, they definitely look like he did in Ukraine, because the press against Ukraine was the best England has been all tournament, and the scoreline reflected that. And I think people look at this Denmark team and think, oh, it's solid defensively, and then it's got your Delaney and Højbjerg, who are 2 physical players in there, and they're a big side as well, so you're thinking they're just going to be sound defensive. But I think only Spain have had more shots this tournament than them. They've been scoring goals for fun. They put 4 past Wales, they put 2 past Czech Republic, they scored against Belgium. Højbjerg's making chances, Christian's coming into midfield and passing it about. It is a good side, and it's definitely going to be a tight game. And I think whatever formation Gareth goes with, and we'll go into our lineups now.
Yeah.
We've got to keep the conservative kind of play in the back of our minds, which I think he has done throughout all tournament, and I fully expect him to do it again.
Yeah, I saw something, just last thing on that, sorry. I saw something about game management recently on Twitter, and it was basically about Italy saying that they made 6 of 11 fouls in the last 10 minutes of the game, and out of the last 22 minutes of the match, the ball was only in play for 9 minutes. So call it cheating, call it dark arts, call it what you want, but
Foster the people.
big FIFA throwback that. Call it what you want, but we need to do that. And if we don't have the right head on, let's say it is 1-0 against Denmark, we need to adopt those philosophies from Italy, and that will show the majority of us.
You talked about France 3-1 up against Switzerland. I bet they wish they was falling around on the floor, giving away free kicks. They'd still be in this tournament now.
Yeah. I mean, it's always that fat 50-year-old bloke. Oh, get up! He's on 80 grand a week, man! Yeah, but they're through to the semis, and you're going home. So
I would be loving every minute of it if we were 1-0 up against Denmark in the last 10 minutes, and you get your Sterling to your Grealish just rolling around on the floor.
That's where you bring Jack the lad on.
I'd love nothing more. I remember when going off topic, City at United, and they're just wasting time, and it was the best bit of the game because you've got to win. Whatever happens, you've got to
right
win.
there, lad.
We've got them right there. We've gone a bit off piece, but we'll go to our predicted. Our not predicted 11s. What we would start, I would say.
Yeah.
So
our collective 11.
Do you want to kick us off with yours first?
Yeah, I think. Am I doing the whole team?
Yeah,
or?
we'll do the whole team.
All right.
And then I'll follow suit.
Okay, so I think we'll go 4-2-3-1. Like I said, you worry about yourself, and then as this game goes, they worry about you. So obviously, Pickford in net, hasn't conceded a goal at this tournament. Really impressed me so far. Made a couple of good saves, but I make the point, he hasn't been worked to a point yet. He's not had much to do. So he starts. Left back, Luke Shaw was excellent in the last game. Delivery was superb again, and once again we're a massive threat from set pieces. It would seem, and so he's in at left back. You can't drop him. I think the only way he doesn't play is if he gets injured. Maguire next to him again, flawless in that last game. Actually gets us out a lot. John Stones obviously next to him. Bit of a controversial one. I think Maguire's better on the ball than Stones, and I know Stones is the ball playing centre back, but Maguire, I'm not his biggest fan, I'll be honest. I'm not his biggest fan. I think a lot of money, and I think, in my opinion, overrated by United fans, underrated by everyone else. I've seen him a bit more this tournament. I get it. He's still not worth 80 million, but I get it.
Yeah.
And he's slowly making me do a 180. Right back, Kyle Walker. Obviously, it's not my best choice. I would sooner play Reece James, but Walker for Southgate, he's always going to play. So. Double pivot, I think Rice and Phillips again. Henderson will come on at some point to see out the game like he did last time. I think Mount goes back in that number 10 position. You play Sterling off the left, Sancho off the right, and then you go Kane through the middle. That's what I would do personally. And throughout the game, obviously you bring on your Hendersons, your Bellinghams, your Rashfords, your Grealish, whoever. But yeah, that would be my 11.
For front three?
Yeah, the same as the last. Same as the last.
Well, I mean, mine's not going to be too dissimilar. To be fair, I think I'm only going to make one change, but I'll just run through it. Obviously, 4-2-3-1. Completely agree with Cook. Let you be the problem. Not worry about them. While obviously keeping some things in mind. Same back four. Roberto Carlos at left back. Mags and Stones, great relationship. I think when you mentioned on the ball, I think Maguire's really good at bringing it out, but Stones, he's kind of he's more of a cover defender, so he doesn't go up as much. So maybe he doesn't have that license in the England team, because certainly for City he does that, and I think dictating the tempo, Stones does that a lot more than Maguire does. Right back, Kyle Walker, he could play safety in the NFL. He's that good. He's the best comfort blanket you could ask for in a team like England when you need that conservative kind of system in playing for a tight game against Denmark, especially.
Well, he's rapid.
Yeah, the pace of they've obviously got a lot of athletes too. Denmark, Braithwaite's a fast and strong player, and
Pionicists though.
Yeah, they got a lot of players you need to worry about there. So you can't break up Phillips and Rice. Two amazing tournaments from both of them. Fair play.
Killing it.
Obviously Sterling on the left, Kane up front, Mountain behind, like I said before. I'm sticking him on Højbjerg and I'm telling him be a menace all game. And the only change I'm making, I think Sancho was very good against Ukraine, but in an effort to play a bit more defensively against a better position, I am starting Bukayo Saka right mid, and I'm telling him, because he's going to come back a bit more. Sterling's a lot of defensive work as well, and I think Saka will do the same on that side.
And there you have it. That's our predicted lineups for the England versus Denmark match, Euro 2020/21. We're playing on Wednesday. Hopefully it comes home. Hopefully we batter these so we can do another video for you later on in the week. And yeah, if you don't follow us on any of our socials, you can get us at Cookie Podcast, followed by the number 1. That's our Instagram and our Twitter. You're obviously watching us on YouTube, but if you want to find us, you can get it at TTWTCC Podcast, and you can follow our host platform, Anchor FM, if you don't have Spotify or iOS. So that has been another episode of That's the Way the Cookie Crumbles, and it's coming home, baby.
See it.